All right, all right. How's everybody doing? Everybody, come on in. We'll give you time to get in here. We got the chat going too, so make sure you hit us up in the chat. Still working out some of the bugs here, and I actually was working on a nice intro, and I don't see it anymore here. Let's see here. See if I can get it to play. Yo, I see you, A6. I'm gonna get you in here. Let me actually, you're gonna have to help me out trying to figure this out. So I'm gonna be looking up here because I got the screen in front of me. I'll be looking over here too. I got another screen over here. So let me know how the feed is showing up. Also, let me know if my sound is good. I want to make sure we give you quality. So anybody out there, just let me know how the feed is and lighting and whatever sound, so we can make sure we do it right. Trying to get you on A6. Stand by. Let me see how I can get you here. Just give me a moment here. Put the link in the chat so we can join. All right, let's see. And the link is found where? Should I go up to the search engine up on top and just copy that and paste it in? Is that what you're saying? A6? Because this is all foreign to me here. The audio is 100. All right, thank you, Steve. I appreciate that, Steve Madden. I like the name too. It should be there on your panel. All right, so I'm looking on the panel. All I have is, it says Knowledgewell Live, end broadcast over here. That's what it was. Pretty confusing my first time out trying to use this, because I'm like, I don't see edit name, edit audio, avatar, stop mic, stop cam. All right, I'm looking. All right, you said share. I'm not seeing anything that says share on here. Actually, invite. Let's see here. I'm going in settings. I don't see it here. Still looking. I got on the far right side, it says comments, banners, brand. It says private. Let's see. No, that's chat private. It's not what I'm looking for. Now what did I do? Bear with me, guys. We'll figure this out. Okay, I see guests. Guests must authenticate. Play a sound when guests appear. Banned guests. Yeah, it's really not. I'm not too impressed with this right now. I'm looking, guys. Bear with me here. We'll get it going. Tell me. Let's see here. All right. It should say invite along the bottom. You know what? Honestly, I can't even see the bottom of the screen. It's actually cutting off where it has the mute button. Yeah, I'm not even seeing the full screen here. Let me see. It's so strange. I'm going to shrink down my screen here, zoom out. Oh, you know what? There it is. So A6, appreciate it. What happened is I had zoomed in too far as my screen goes, and now everything's working. You're the man. You're the man. Let's get you in here. All right, so I'm going to invite guests to the broadcast studio. All right, so here's the link. All right, A6, we're going to get you in here. Give me one moment. All right, so anyone that wants to join, I'm going to put the link in there. Obviously, you don't bring no riffraff in here. You know I don't play. All right, so here we go. It is now in the chat. So hook up with your boys, and we'll get this thing cracking. Also, I had made this intro, man. I wanted you guys to hear it. Let's see if I can get it on while we're waiting on BX. What's up, man? What's up? Thanks for coming in. Let's see if I can get this up here. Audio. Bear with me, guys. We'll get going here shortly. All right. A6. There you are.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
Yep.
How's your day?
Solid, man.
Solid.
Much.
I got to get used to looking at the right camera because I'm over here looking at the screen and, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. You ain't heard from Finest Thing?
I hit up a few people in the gram. I haven't heard that.
Okay. All right.
Should be some hits coming in though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let me see if I can. I had actually had an intro and I was going to put it on. But I got to learn this thing, man. Like I said, it was just some stuff. Oh, A6, you have an echo, they're saying.
You got to turn off YouTube, I believe.
You're on YouTube. What is that?
I'll turn my YouTube off. Yeah.
All right, let us know. BX, you're saying who has an echo? Both of us?
I can't see the comments. Oh, there we go.
You cannot see them?
Yeah, I see. Hold on. There we go.
Tell me if you can hear this. How'd that work?
Yeah, it worked good.
Really? Was the sound really good?
It was.
It was good?
What's up with that echo?
All right, let's figure it out here. I mean, I got my headset on, so I don't think it's anything I'm doing.
I got mine too.
Let's check it out. Nice intro. Thank you, Yosef. Go Spidey. What up, T? T say. Let's see here. Can you see the messages?
Yeah, I can see.
Everybody out there listening, let me know if that echo is going away. We'll try and work on it. All right. So A6, these various screen options down here, is this the best one to have on right now, this side by side? Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Side by side.
Side by side is the best. Okay. All right. Anybody else? We did put the link. I'll put it up one more time. Do I need to put it up every time, or? I'll put the link in there. Anybody that want to join in the chat?
Yeah, I usually throw it in there once or twice.
Okay. All right, I just threw it up there. Anybody, got something on their mind, want to talk about something, and make sure you share. Everybody, share it. Get this information out here. Let's get a bunch of people in here so we can have a helpful discussion.
We working on the echo, man. I'm not sure what the hell's going on with it.
A6, they're saying you have an echo, so it's on your end.
All right, hold on.
Okay. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2.
Yo. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
It's still echo.
Let us know. We're looking for your assistance here. Let us know if the echo is going away or if it's still doing it.
Yeah, I still got it.
I
can actually hear it.
Huh. Still slight echo, Joseph said. A6, turn your mic down.
How's that?
You got to keep talking.
How's that?
For me, it's good. I don't know about for them. They got to let us.
Is it still echo?
Anybody?
How about now? Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm not sure what's going on.
I can't say. I know the first time I did when I went live, it was me because I had the YouTube open up also. But I closed the YouTube.
So let me see. Echo cancellation is on. Automatically adjust mic volume. So your echo cancellation is on. I got it on my settings here.
Hold on, let me see.
Keep talking.
Yo. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How's it sounding?
I put the echo cancellation on too. Still doing it.
Oh, you put it on there?
Yeah.
They're telling the consultant is saying to turn yourself down a little bit more.
All right.
Okay, we got somebody else we're gonna add to the stream. Joseph, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey.
Give me a second. I'm trying to work this myself. My thing started going slow.
Oh, you buffering a little bit?
Yeah.
Yo, he's echoing big time.
Oh yeah.
Yo, it's weird. You're like the only person not echoing, man.
Wow. All right, so let me see here. Echo cancellation is on for A6. Both of you guys have echo cancellation on you. Make sure that you also did echo cancellation on yourself.
I checked that. Just it.
All right, how are we sounding out there, y'all? Somebody let us know.
I mean, you sound very clear, Courtney.
Okay.
He echoed 3 times.
Really?
I could hear him echoing. It's weird.
How's it going? How's it going? Anybody out there, let us know how the feed is sounding. I'm not sure what to do.
Do you have YouTube open up also, Courtney? Check up both your screens or whatever.
Okay, 1 minute.
Yeah, we're all echoing to see you.
Okay, because I have my headphones on. Let's see here. Let me shut this down. All right, I just shut down. I had it on my other screen.
How about now? Yeah, still echoing.
Still a slight echo. Damn.
All right, I'm turning echo Okay, how about now?
Yo, that's much better. There we go. It went away.
All right.
You had it open on YouTube, didn't you?
No, I had echo cancellation off on the main. I mean, I had it off. I didn't check it. So we good now? Everybody good?
We all good. Yes, we're good.
All right. Appreciate your patience. Okay. So the consultant, it said, it's my fault. So yeah, it's my fault. The host, he said he or she said the host has to control the echo.
Oh, it's a learning curve, man. You know, all this is a learning curve. You know, that's why we all here. Feel me?
That's right. So so we got Yusuf in the house. Yosef, right? Not Yusuf, right? Yosef.
Yosef.
Okay.
I don't know why people keep calling me Yusuf. There's no U in my name, so.
I had a friend actually from Albania, and their last name was Yusuf. So now I got you, so it's Yosef. So I'll get it straight though. And then we got, of course, A6 in the house. What's going on, Mr. A?
Born natural. You know me. You know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is.
That's right.
Coin the phrase.
1 second. Hold up.
Okay. All right. So I just want to say, those of you in the chat that have questions, or you have a topic that you want to discuss, hey, we're here for you. This is what we do. So feel free. I'll read off the comments, and we'll get this thing cracking. So let's get it going.
Make no mistake, too. I came to learn, so let me grab my notebook because I'm taking notes too.
Excellent. We all here to learn. We all here to learn. We all here to learn. So
yes,
do I need to send an invite out to like anywhere else, or just leave it as it is and people just join in?
Well, I tried to funnel a bunch of cats in here. As a matter of fact, I see 3 people in here that were people I invited pretty much. So
awesome.
I don't know how many people are here now, but like I said, I see 3 of them.
So far,
drop the link in the chat again so they can, if they want to jump in, they can get in.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna be putting a link to get into the live feed with us right in the chat section. So if you feel so inclined and you want to jump on in, I just put it in there just now. So we have the consultant. This is his Administrative Procedures Act, the APA.
Yes, sir. We were just talking about that earlier. As a matter of fact, the consultant hit me up earlier. So he was talking about the Administrative Procedure Act, and I actually have it already pulled up.
All right.
So the basic purposes. So it reads like this even on the Wikipedia. Although each U.S. government agency is constituted within one branch of the government, judicial, legislative, and executive, an agency's authority often extends into functions of other branches, which we knew, hence the police force, all that other stuff.
Right.
Without careful regulation, that can lead to unchecked authority in particular areas of government, violating the separation of powers. So you saw what just happened to me when I was traveling, and you had the guy that overstepped his jurisdiction. So there you have it right there. A concern that Roosevelt himself acknowledged. To provide constitutional safeguards, the APA creates a framework for regulating agencies in their roles. According to the Attorney General's manual on the Administrative Procedure Act, drafted after the 1946 enactment of the APA, the basic purposes of the APA are as follows: to require agencies to keep the public informed of their organization, procedures, and rules. 2, to provide for the public participation in rulemaking process, for instance, through public commenting. 3, to establish uniform standards for the conduct of formal rulemaking and adjudication. We all know what that means. And 4, to define the scope of judicial review. Now, that's just the beginning. So, like, when you really start to go down into, because this is the first time I'm actually hearing about this. So when you actually start to go down into this and you start to read the rest of this stuff, it pretty much very clearly breaks down exactly what this stuff is put in place for. And these are simple things that if people knew, they would be able to use to get out of these stupid ass court cases that are unconstitutional. You know, we're not even supposed to be paying anything other than gold and silver. It already says that, and that's fact.
Right.
So, I mean, the fact that we're even paying fiat currency or using fiat currency is completely against the Constitution, which I always say this is why they created that citizenship. There's no way that you can actually control what would be considered nature. You know, gold and silver's from out of the ground. So that's nature. Right. So what did they go do? They had to create a whole entire world that they could control. So they put you in that world by giving you that U.S. citizenship. That way they can jerk you around by that U.S. citizenship.
Right. You're absolutely 100%. Hey, I feel like I'm at church, bro.
Yes, sir. That's what we here for, right?
Bust out them tambourines, bro.
Hey, man, you already know. So look, hey, anybody listening right now,
Yeah.
shout out to my man, the consultant, because this guy's a goddamn genius.
All right.
Salute to him.
Salute.
Look up the Administrative Procedure Act and read the whole entire thing right there. Right on Wikipedia, I'd say to start off, and then we can start applying it to different things later. So now that we have that valuable arsenal, piece of weaponry in our arsenal, we can start applying this. So I'm going to start taking notes right now. So I'll let you guys take over.
So BX Trust is asking, what part are you reading?
Go all the way down to basic purposes. That's why I started off. Because before you get into the history and before you start getting into all the other more complicated stuff, just understand the skeleton of it. So we understand a basic principle of what we're reading and understand what it's established for. For me, I need to know why it's there in order to understand the history. Because if I read the history first and then read the why, I still got to go back and read the history because it doesn't completely click until I know why it's there. And it's a protective procedure pretty much.
Mm-hmm. So the consultant, here we go. It literally states that these the county courts are not courts and have no authority nor jurisdiction, the consultant. So yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, if you understand the difference between the Article 1 and the Article 3 courts and their prospective jurisdiction, people, the main issue here is the fact that just as A6 was outlining, that in a sense, we've been transitioned into a whole corporation. We all know 28 USC 3002-15A, which says that the United States means a federal corporation. Okay. What I've found is that transition actually happened, in 1789. Okay. 1789, essentially, and I've done elaborate studies and research on this. You can check in the archives on my Facebook page at CCOP Research, CCOP Research, I call it. And there I've outlined this thing, walking you through the history. But 1789, essentially the Congress was all power, right? And the Congress essentially just said, every one of these colonies, we need to unionize. We need to bring everything under basically centralized government. That's when the idea went in for it. And once they did that, the reason that the Congress said that we need to do that is because we can't control the money supply. They said that that basically whenever there's international trade or what have you, there's no check on that power. So basically they played on the fear of the people that without big brother government, without a centralized government, you are vulnerable to the world.
And it was all bullshit.
Right. And let me just insert right here that the fact that you may want to think twice about the cryptocurrency space, because I contend that history is repeating itself.
Yeah, that's the same thing I thought too.
Right. Because
that's the same thing I thought.
Absolutely. Because essentially what happens is they get you hooked on their dope, right? They get you hooked on it, and then they'll make you insanely wealthy with it if everybody jumps into it and funnels into it. And then what they do is they take control of it. And you get what I'm saying? They take control of it. And now that you're locked in there, and basically what they have you doing is essentially trading all the tangible things that you can literally put your hands on. And they're recognizing or recognizing that into intangible stuff that is really essentially backed by nothing.
Exactly. Backed by imagination, pretty much.
Right. That's what fiat, by definition, that's what fiat is. It's whatever the government says the value is, and you just go along like sheep saying, we agree. And so that's essentially what happened. Okay. Even back then. And they're just repeating that cycle now. So 1789 is where it all jumped off. That's when the Constitution was brought about. I did a video this morning. The Department of State was formed. Even the Department of War, like the Army and all that happened in like between the time 1789 and 1792. They did some crazy things.
Yeah, you talking about the psyops and all that stuff, and basically putting the neighbors against each other to fight. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that, definitely. So here's my question to you.
Okay.
The Federal Reserve is pretty much the meat and potatoes of all this, because you said it started in 1789, which does make sense because I did read that before. But I also thought it seemed to be a kind of like a turbo boost when the Federal Reserve was created, because that's how they were able to create the fiat currency and pretty much do away with the gold and silver. Because I think everybody here would agree when the gold and silver went, that's when things really started to take off in terms of, the whole entire U.S. government corporation, if you would. So would you say that what was it, 1933, I believe, a Federal Reserve Act or something like that? I think it was 30 or 33.
When they went bankrupt?
Yes. I want to say 1933, correct?
Well, I think you're discussing two separate things. So the Federal Reserve Act, about the meeting in Jekyll Island, 1911.
Yeah, yes, I do.
And then the Federal Reserve essentially came on the heels of that in about 1913.
13, right? Okay, gotcha.
1911, 1913, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When was the meeting in Jekyll Island?
Oh, man, it's a really good book. It's called The Creature from Jekyll Island. I really highly suggest you grabbing that bad boy. So basically what happened is, for those who don't know the gist of the whole entire story, there's an island in Georgia called Jekyll Island. It's basically a piece of the land itself that's pretty much owned by the United States corporation, basically. So they had a meeting of the top bankers, I believe, the top officials. There's probably some congressmen there. It was one of those things where if you don't have that pass, you're not getting through. Oh, this is for the big boys type thing. So they had this meeting where they decided to come up with a particular type of way to control the actual flow of money, because it's already been said they give a damn about the rules and who makes the laws. Let me control the money and I control the people. I think that was the Rockefellers who said that, wasn't it? One of them.
I think it might have been Rothschilds.
Rothschilds, right? Not the Rockefellers. Rothschilds, yeah. So they had this meeting and they started talking about how to set up the Federal Reserve. Mm-hmm. So at that meeting, they had this secret plan on how to do it. So the problem was they wouldn't sign it into I believe it was in the law until they had changed it around. So they changed it to get it signed, and then they completely changed it after it was already passed. Right. So when it was passed, that's when you had all these things where they were trying to take all the money out of the economy, the official money, the gold and silver coins. Yeah. You still get some quarters, silver quarters somewhere along the line. If you look hard enough, you might find some, but most of them were just confiscated. So gold, good luck with gold. If you have a gold United States of America quarter or something like that, or whatever piece it came in, it's worth serious money.
Yeah.
And not just because it's gold. It's historic.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big transition, man. They're just trying to strip everything that, like ASIC said, everything of value that has what's known as inherent value. They're stripping that away, and they're recognizing and exchanging that and giving you back fiat currencies and cryptocurrencies and all these things that are intangible. And that's the whole goal. So they're what they want to do is they want to transition real men, women, assets into digital, easily manipulated, controlled, centralized products. Okay, even down to the straw man and all that. Okay, they just recognized men and women into corporate fictions.
Yep, legal fictions.
That's all it is. So the game because they keep perpetuating the same thing over and over again.
Now, I go as far as to say they don't have a whole lot of tricks up their sleeve. They're just really good at the one trick they know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And so Cooper the Trooper said, "I'm late, y'all. Y'all saying crypto is fiat."
Absolutely. It's not backed on anything, man. I mean, none of it is. Like, I will say this, the dollar's not backed on anything either. Like, people say, I've actually had people say, I would never invest in cryptocurrency because it's not backed on anything. The dollars are backed on gold and silver. And I just look at them like this.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you actually not know in terms of what's happening?
Yeah, there's no backing.
Now, I do have a question. As far as did my camera freeze? Okay. I did have a question though.
we hear you.
As far as the shit, please don't tell me I lost my train of thought. Oh, shit.
No problem. No
Take your
problem.
time. It happens to the best.
Oh yeah, the fiat the fiat currency. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't like the dollar bill supposed to act as a promissory note?
Right. It's a note. I mean, that's why it's called a Federal Reserve note. It's a issue of debt. That's all it is. And all you're doing when you give somebody $1, you're just passing debt.
Exactly.
There's no payment. There's nothing being satisfied ever.
Exactly. So pretty much what happened when they pulled the gold and silver out of the economy, just to give you a little bit of a backstory, when they pulled the gold and silver out of the economy, effectively you took away the people's ability to pay. So they can't pay, and you, as an implied contract, so another book you guys should look at is Invisible Contracts. Very good book right there. It's got a lot of different contracts in it, but by applied contract, if you take away somebody's ability to pay, you have to be responsible for them paying. So if you give them back another form that isn't actually money, and you release things like HJR 192 that basically proves it's not money, pretty much, you have to be able to be held responsible for that. So if you, like I said, if you take away somebody's money and you don't leave them any way to pay, you give them something that's not money, then by definition, you become the debtor and they're the creditor pretty much, because basically that currency that you gave them, or fiat currency basically, is backed off by credit. So the people are the ones who are credit. When you go to work, let's say U.S. citizens go to work and they spend their hard-earned body life energy to hard-earned, when they spend their body life energy to hard-earned fiat currency and it's taxed, they're basically the creditor because they're keeping the entire machine moving. Think about the U.S. corporation like a machine, and the machine needs gears to turn. It has to have gears to turn it. So these people are the ones who are constantly working and paying these taxes to feed into the beast to keep it circulating. Now, you can make the argument that, yes, there's no actual money itself. That is facts. That's 100% facts. So with that said, I would pretty much say that the people are still in that terms, the creditors, because, again, it's still backed off of credit.
Right. And piggybacking on that, well, let's take a question here. T is saying, can you read that? Is that why it is the only bill that has not changed? Go ahead, because you were answering that, A6. Is that T is asking? Is that why it is the only bill that has not changed as far as the dollar?
I'm not clear on what you're asking me. In terms of it being fiat currency, you mean?
Yeah, because we were saying that it's just debt. It's just a note. It's just a debt.
Actually, it did change, actually. Interestingly enough, if you look at the money used to actually be based. All right, so this is the way it worked. You had gold and silver that was heavy as hell. So you would have a bank that pretty much kept gold and silver in it. So they created something that was actually backed by gold and silver. So I think for every how many pounds, they would print like a few actual dollars that were basically exchange receipts. So instead of carrying heavy ass bags of gold across town to pay John for fixing your wagon, you could bring some currency that he could actually take into the bank in exchange for gold and silver. So yes, that was actually dollar bills, and it did change because it used to say actual money or dollars on it pretty much. Now it says the Federal Reserve note.
Right. The consultant. Here we go. Quick remedy. When you go into court.
Talk about that comment, because that's pretty interesting.
He said, "Go with the Shaggy." It wasn't me. Said, "You got me on the camera." It wasn't me. Said, yeah, I like that though, yo. Hey, man, we already know, man. We already know. You said the fact. Well, put that back up there. I was reading that. Hold up.
All right.
He said, the fact that they are not a court, the agency will never testify against you. Hey, I mean, at the end of the day, we got it right here. We got the facts. You know, we got the facts.
Because you are basically using the Fifth Amendment implicitly without
verbally, or writedness. These Latin phrases that sometimes are hard as hell for me to remember, man.
Oh yeah. Okay, implicitly. Okay, because you are basically using the Fifth Amendment implicitly without or okay, verbally saying it. I got you.
And for anybody watching who doesn't have a copy of the Constitution, I'm sorry. Who you say? You said something?
I was just saying that was a really interesting concept.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. For anybody who doesn't have a copy of the United States Constitution, of course, on your phone, you might want to download it. It's free. You can get right on your app store and just download it. It doesn't cost anything. Always have a copy of the Constitution on your phone just in case.
Now,
I know there's two constitutions. I'm aware of that. There's the Constitution for the United States of America, and there's the Constitution. What's up? Are you going to say something?
Now, let me ask you this.
What's up?
Are you under the Constitution?
The Constitution for the United States of America, the Bill of Rights.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution.
That's correct.
All right. So now the Articles of Confederation. Are you familiar with that?
I am not. You can break that down to me.
All right. So that was 1781 to 1788. Now, I was going to go into a little bit of the history on that. Okay, the consultant said I've done that multiple times. I got you. All right. So 1781 to 1788, you had the Articles of Confederation. That's when the states were all basically sovereign. Okay.
Okay, hold on. I'm writing it down now.
Okay. And
Go ahead.
And they essentially they even had their own currency. They printed their own currencies. They handled their own trade. The states were foreign one to another. And that's the way it was, 1781 to 1788. We were under what was known as the Articles of Confederation. Okay. But then lo and behold, you had in 1789, as I stated before, the first president, which was so-called George Washington. You had John Adams as the vice president, and so on and so on. And that was on the heels of them basically changing everything and being put under this new constitution.
Right.
Okay? But there was so much more that happened there. And you can really, if you really research it, you can see the nefarious activities there and the change into the corporation, because you had things like what the Residence Act or Residency or Residence Act. You had the Funding Act. Let me tell you what the Funding Act was about. And this was in about 1791, 1792. The Funding Act actually was where the states, the sovereign states, actually certified their debts on the heels of the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War, they certified their debts because the war brings a lot of debt. And
absolutely.
Each of the states were insanely in debt. And so what the District of Columbia, what would then be the United States headquarters, 10 miles square, what they did is they said to the states, if you will certify your debt to us, we will take your debt and essentially put you in a reorganization, a bankruptcy. And so that, of course, each of the states in the union at that time, they did that. Okay. Now, what is certification? If you watch my video, I did maybe earlier, late last week, I did a little bit on certification. What does it mean to actually certify something? Okay, register something, right? And so that's an incorporation. Okay. Which is the process of forming a legal entity, okay? And so that's where that whole Pledge of Allegiance thing came into play, where people were pledging, the states were pledging allegiance to this new seat of power in Washington, D.C. And they were doing it through these certificates. Sound familiar? Birth certificates?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's see, the states.
Pause real quick.
Yep.
Okay. Just make sure I heard correctly. You said incorporation is the process of forming a legal entity?
Yes.
Okay. Continue.
Okay. So I'll put up a statement here while we're... but anyways, so through these certificates from the states, there's literally, 80,000 people, 80,000 individuals born per day, I think, or something like that, around the whole country. It's an astronomical number. So if you can imagine how many certifications are being certified or are being pledged to this new seat of power, Washington, D.C., wherein bonds are circulated on the backs of the people.
Facts. That's facts right there. Yep. Absolutely.
So this is what the Funding Act was. And in fact, I wish I knew how to actually share the screen and pull it up and we can go over the Funding Act. But this is how the recognition of the people, do you know the process of how that actually works? Through the birth certificate being certified and bonds being circulated to the Treasury, and then the Treasury turns around and goes up to Big Brother Fed and says, hey, we got this. We have this certification. Will you honor this, basically? And the Fed will say, the Federal Reserve will say, sure, go ahead. Now you may print $100 million
Yep.
in fiat currency. That's the cycle of things. And then it turns around and goes back to the banks who distribute to us.
And then all the other countries, they have a lot of stake in it too. The
Yeah.
whole point, and you know what's interesting, Courtney? And I was telling people, remember when they had those stimulus checks that they were giving out, and people got really pissed off when they saw how much money was going overseas?
Yeah.
Yo, the point is, they don't give a shit about you. They want you to be in debt. The country is not functioning off of your fiat currency. It's functioning off your energy. The fact that you actually go into the Department of Motor Vehicles and sit behind a desk and answer phones, you're keeping the machine going. The fact that you're a mechanic and you're going and turning in hours and fixing cars. Cars have to keep running. Somebody has to fix them. Somebody has to sell them. Somebody has to build them. Food has to get created. All of this stuff is all what your credit is. It's not the money. They don't give a shit up. They can create money all they want. They don't give a shit about money. The fiat currency. It's your physical labor that's keeping the country going.
Yeah,
it's the energy you're burning going to work. And when you go home tired as hell, that's your payment to keep the machine going.
Yeah. It's and in fact, that is the whole modus operandi, as far as what I contend, of them removing the gold backing.
Exactly.
Because that's how you enslave a people.
Exactly.
You remove the true inherent value of a particular asset that they have learned to depend upon. And when you extract that, it causes a void. And then those that in power can fill that void with whatever they want.
Exactly.
In our case, it's fiat currency, right? But little do you know that you are, as A6 is outlining, the actual backing to the whole system. That's what a bond is.
Yep.
And now you know
the full faith and credit of the people.
That's it. We are the creditors.
Exactly.
So it's funny, isn't it? Bonds, isn't that what you hold a prisoner in? Stocks and bonds?
Yep. Exactly.
So what's really being traded on the stock market?
Exactly. Bonds, all that stuff. People think it's all kinds of, well, you got, of course, titles to cars and all that other stuff too, but that shit is pennies compared to actual birth certificates and stuff like that. That's just pennies. You know, birth certificate bonds and all that.
Yep. Let me get on this question real fast. It says, hey, this is Cooper the Trooper 777. Hey, y'all, I'm trying, but I think he's saying buy my first car.
Buy my first car, yeah.
When I do so, do I just need to possess the title for proof of ownership? And do you think I need to carry this while traveling just in case? What do you think, A6?
All right, well, here's what I personally would do. If you have the title itself, of course, possession is, what is it?
9/10 of the law.
9/10 of the law. If you have the title, you have the keys, you have the car, that shit is more than likely your car for real. So, like, with that said, pretty much, it's like common law, right, Courtney? Possession 9/10 of the law is common law, right?
Well,
law, at least?
Yeah.
I thought so. So with that said, if you have the title, you have the keys, and you have the car, you basically have the title. Now, if you don't get it transferred over for whatever reason, here's what I would do. When you buy that car, I would get myself a what a brain dead right now. Get yourself a bill of sale. Bill of sale. That's the old school common way of buying something. This is before you had all these corporate titles and there was no United States corporation. Bill of sale. If you had the bill of sale for that item and it states that you are the buyer and the seller was the other
party.
I want to say party. Yeah, that's the great way to put it. I don't want to say person because I'm trying to get away from saying person. But, the other party. So if the other party was the one who sold it and you're the buyer and it says there that it's paid off and there's a signature of both, that there is your title technically, the bill of sale. So that indicates that it's yours, really.
Yep. Now something more important that's coming down the pike. Hey, Finest thing walking is in the building, y'all. Hey, Finest, I'm about to out right now, but still had to pop.
Yeah, he doing his thing where he's sliding and gliding.
Okay.
Yeah.
No
But
problem.
continue. I was listening to that. Go ahead.
Okay, so the new process, or this process that it's not a new process. Let me correct myself. It's actually something that we've already tested before, but people did not go far enough into it. You know, I've heard Yusufel, I've heard others that have spoke against the Minnesota Rule 220B. But there's some things that I and we are uncovering there that is definitely going to be substantial in the way of titles, such as that he just reminded me of that. And again, this is the crux of the issue is going to be, and you're going to find that you're going to start hearing a lot about this. It's going to be the age of the majority. And that has everything to do with what this young man or whoever this was, the consultant, no, Koopa the Troopa, because title is where it's at. And there's titles of origin. The vehicle that you're going to purchase, especially if you're buying it new, the manufacturer has the certificate of origin, or the manufacturer title of origin. That's what the state is actually claiming to destroy. Why would they say that they don't have your original certificate of live birth?
They don't want you to have it.
Right.
That's simple.
There's a very, very important reason.
I would honestly say, if I were to take an intelligent guess, you are not allowed to have it until you actually reach the age of majority. When you're, let's say when you're 17, 16, and you're not able to buy certain things, you're not able to have certain things in your possession, legally by their standards anyway. When you are the age, I would say, and you're the official age that you're allowed to have and own your things. That's what I would take a guess for.
You have to attain the age of the majority. And I don't care what process, and I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I always make sure I say that, because that's not what this is about. But it is about correct information. It's about processes and procedures. Okay. If you go to battle in court, you get some experience in court, you're going to find that it's more about the procedures, where they're watching the procedures. They'll throw a case out of court if you're not following the correct procedure. Okay. The civil procedures and what have you. So you have to come in the correct way, and that is attaining that age of the majority. If you don't have that, and you're making declarations and affidavits and all this kind of stuff out here, you don't even have a capacity to do that until you've attained the age of the majority. T, was that the creation of credit? We probably went beyond what you're referring to. Do you remember what he's referring to, A6?
I think he was talking about the whole entire thing with the title.
Currency.
The title?
Yeah, hold on. Let me scroll up.
Was that the creation of credit?
I think he was talking about the title. I'm not sure.
Okay.
The title, car, and all that stuff. Yeah.
All right. Here's the, let's see here.
But yeah, when you got that car, you pretty much signed that contract, basically stating that you're going to get in there and work your ass off pretty much to feed the machine. And as a result, you keep doing what you're supposed to do to feed the machine, and you can, drive around in this car. Drive. Notice I said that. You can drive around in this car because they can't tell you can't travel. That's not without due process anyway. Dolls first Kent, 1958.
Yeah, that's what T is saying right now. Right here, man. This is how they came up with the 40-hour work week, just enough to keep you busy and not kill you.
Yeah, the idea is to work you to goddamn death and to give you pennies when you get older. So you still have to work a part-time job. So you still got to get out there and work, And the thing about it, here's the messed up part. I actually know people that are 75 years old that retired, like around 70 or something like that. And they got so bored and they were so indoctrinated to get out there and work their ass off. They couldn't just stay in the house and enjoy their retirement. They had to go back out there and go to work. That's a mental bondage at that point. I mean, dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I turn that age, bro, and I'm still able to move around, I'd be traveling every goddamn way, honestly. But you got people who actually want to go back to work. Like, Jesus.
That's right.
Give yourself a break, man.
All right. So here's the consultant says, sorry about that. He said, get the car, cancel the registration, send notice to the lender of arbitration to renegotiate the contract, tell them to prove that they gave you lawful money or lent you their credit. which is fraud.
And having had that 9mm ready when that repo man come past you.
Man,
Yo, the repo man. I don't know where y'all from, yo, but repo men out here are gangsters. Yo, I done seen a repo man threaten to shoot a dude with a shotgun.
damn.
It's serious out here, man.
Over here, like the repo dudes are just kind of annoying. Like my friend, he used to do repos, so he kind of walked me through the do's and don'ts, like what they legally can and can't do. So when they try to repossess my shit, I just hit it in the backyard and just because I'm normally up until like 3 or 4 in the morning. When they come creeping by, I would just walk outside. Like, you need something?
Oh,
I'm gonna see you one way or another. Like,
yeah.
So
He said he got 4 luxury vehicles, but yo, you gotta highlight that, Courtney, the consultant.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Yo, you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the secure party creditor thing where they were saying they were discharging mortgages and discharging houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've never actually tried it though, man. But some people say it works, but I have other people saying it doesn't. So I'm not sure, man.
Here's the consultant. Is this really valid? BX Trust said, I did that last year and it worked. As a consultant, I have proof all on camera, everything I did.
What?
What'd you do?
wow.
What'd you do, BX?
Yo.
What'd you get?
See, we're gonna have to do hey, Courtney.
Yeah.
This is some information, man. We're gonna have to end up doing like a Patreon or something, man, because this ain't information everybody need to be really looking at, man.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like some of this shit should be private because wrong people get this information. That's gonna be an issue.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody don't know. Everybody don't need to be doing these processes and things. So you know me, I believe in keeping things as private as possible.
Yeah.
So I just put the link back in there. So if anybody wants to jump on board, come on the live feed with us. Let's see, BX Trust, the consultant, dropping facts. That works. All right. T, can you guys cover licenses? We have so many. What do you mean? What do you want?
You gotta go in depth with that's a lot of different licenses.
What do you mean by that? All right.
Why not just start off with the driver's license if that's most common?
I hear somebody, but I don't see him.
That's hold on, let me hear. Yeah, that's Joseph. You can't see Joseph?
Oh, his screen froze. Okay. Yeah, his screen froze. I thought he wasn't talking.
Oh.
Sorry. Like I'm trying to. My bad. I'm trying. No, I'm trying to order some food on my phone, so my screen went black because I'm switching back and forth. But I would just say like in regards to licenses, I would just say like address the one that's the most common, which is the driver's license.
Okay, so driver's license. All right, so as y'all know, and now that I checked the date, about a month ago, I sent my license in along with a letter basically telling them to cancel the contract. And now I'm not sure if it's because of the government, they move slow as the DMV moves slow as hell. So it might be that they didn't process it yet, or they haven't gotten to it because of all the backup here in Maryland. If you guys are from Maryland or whatever, you already know that the DMV has been very backed up because it's been like restricted of how many people can be in the building. It's by appointment only. All these people are trying to do shit. They might be backed up to the point where they can't get to whatever. But I don't give a shit because at the end of the day, I want what the hell I want. I don't care. Right. So I sent the information in and, I got pulled over or whatever, and they were able to pull up my license. So it's looking like they didn't take that information out. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm about to do. I'm about to contact the Department of Motor Vehicles commissioner, the HNIC, the commissioner basically, and send it directly to his desk because whatever's happening, a lot of people ain't hitting that commissioner up. People are yelling at the gatekeepers. People are still trying to bang on the gates to get through the gates. Right. And the gatekeepers are basically telling them whatever they want to tell them to get them away from the gates. Now, how many people are going straight to the commissioner?
I will say this though. I'm pretty sure you probably came across the video of Jackie Fig, but she was talking about in regards to turning in your driver's license, it'll probably be best for you to actually go down there so that you could demand a receipt that you actually cancel this and turn this in, because you just send it in certified mail or any other way, like it's very likely you're not going to get anything back. But if you actually go there, like because of circumstances, you might have to do the appointment. But it would be better for you to actually physically be there so you can like demand proof that I rescinded this contract and here's the receipt.
Well, that's cool because I also created a shout out to Bad Wolf. I actually got like a template which I modified a little bit for my my liking, but I got a template I'm about to send to the commissioner also, basically stating that there will be a fine attached per day that my information is not removed, and they will be liable for that fine, and no response is basically acquiescence as with any other third party creditor. If they send you a bill and you don't respond, guess what? You owe that bill. So that's pretty much the way I'm going with it. So yeah, I mean that could work, but in light of the circumstances of what's going on, people ain't really able to get in there like that. So I mean, you're right. And trust me, if this was a situation where I could just walk right in, I would have did that probably 5 months ago. When I got my passport, I would have done that. But seeing as how everything's closed, I really don't feel like putting a mask on and going waiting behind 6 feet behind people looking like an idiot and shit. So I just say, look, let me go ahead and send this certified mail in, and then if y'all don't comply, I'll just send you the bill. I'm good with that. Hey, I can use $100,000,
Right.
100,000 fiat currency.
Let me chime in here. Cooper the Trooper 777 said, "Can you go over if fishing license is required as a national status, and do they have jurisdiction with fishing municipal owned property, or do they not have it when you're on the water?"
Well, see, here's the thing. They don't own shit. These people are basically just a goddamn foreign military patrolling the area and basically pulling people over for paperwork. So they don't own any goddamn thing physically. They own the idea of it. So if you're a U.S. citizen, then yes, you are supposed to do whatever the hell they tell you. Now, Courtney will say, if you don't have the age of majority, they own your ass. I personally would say if you have your passport and you're classified as a foreign national, they don't have jurisdiction. So, I mean, whatever way you want to go with it. I do agree with him, though. The age of majority is probably the best way to go because he actually showed me a lot of the information backing that up. And it was very, very interesting. So if you got, let's say, for instance, the age of majority, and you know how to handle your affairs like he does, you pretty much can go that way. But and when they pull up that passport, it really says on there, do not detain. It says, do not interrogate. And you shouldn't need no damn license to go fishing anyway. Let's just think for 1 second how ridiculous that is. One more idea. I'll give it right to you. Let's just think of how ridiculous that is. They have to ask permission to go out and pillage for food. You have to ask permission from Caesar to go pillage for food.
Yep. That's what it is. Now, mind you, that's because, like I said, that you have not reached the age of the majority. The age of the majority is essentially where you're transitioned from a corporate citizen in need of social welfare and governmental welfare to an individual who can administer as an executor over their own estate. If you have not attained that, then you need a representative in court or in any legal matter because you're not competent or legally competent to handle your own affairs. Only executors and administrators are. With that said, question is by BX Trust, do you keep MCO on vehicles? So that's the manufacturer's certificate of origin, I believe. And the answer to that, what I've researched, is that you don't actually, when it comes from the manufacturer will typically send that to the state. And so you really don't ever see that. If I'm wrong, correct me, but you don't really ever see that. You usually get certificates once it's been registered to the state. Okay, then you get your certificate from whoever you bought it from or from the motor vehicle or something to that effect. The consultant, license remedy. Here's a consultant saying this is the remedy for license. So Flanroy versus First National Bank of Shreveport. Statutes are not laws. Then use the Bill of Rights.
My man got answers. He got answers for days. My man, hey, you know what he remind me of? You remember back in the day when they had Game Shark and you plug that joint up and it just got all these my man has a long list of game hacks.
All right.
That's dope. I like it. Hey, shout out to the consultant, man. I'm gonna be hitting you up a lot, bro.
So A6, Did you go exempt? Is the question from T.
Exempted. What we talking about? The are we talking about driving?
Driver license, probably.
I haven't driven since last August. I haven't driven since last August. I've been traveling since. So yes, I am exempt.
All right,
Courtney, I do have a question.
All right. Let me get a few. Hold on, real fast. Let me get a few of these because our list is getting long here with these questions. I just want to make sure we get them.
Oh damn! I didn't even notice that.
So Idle X, welcome Idle X, and he's asking. I just did same. Sent my paperwork out yesterday to Clayton County. Okay, very good, very good. We'll see how. Let us know how that works out. BX, I'm learning every day how to manage. Thankful for all you honorable men after real knowledge and application. Thank you. The consultant, they are indentured trustees and servants. Yes, sir. BX Trust at the Constitution is their and the Constitution is their indenture. Very good. Koopa the Trooper 777. So do I low key gotta surrender my food stamp card and other government assistance to meet the age of the majority? Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
You
can't take benefits from Caesar.
No, you can't mix the two.
No, here's the interesting part, Courtney. I do know a guy who accidentally did the age of majority thing because well, I don't know if your process, if you wanted me to put that out there or whatever.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so I'm not gonna go too in depth. So the guy actually he authenticated the birth certificate.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, the guy said, "Nah, man, you're supposed to authenticate the certificate of live birth, the book copy with the upper and lowercase of your name." So he said, "Oh shit, I did the wrong one." So he goes and does that one afterwards. So he has technically the age of majority because the trust and all that stuff you told me about pretty much. So and he also still has a passport.
Okay.
So it's like thoughts.
Yeah, so that's a part of it, but there's actually another something that needs to go with that.
Got you. Okay.
So you have to consult with me on that.
You're only halfway there.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that live though. I meant to do it tonight, but like I got how my schedule is.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to maybe do it. If I can't do it Thursday, we'll try to see if we can set it up for sometime next week.
Yeah, there definitely is a process, guys, and it's not something that I wrote, but it is something that I researched deeply into, and I feel like we got it. But I'm never going to put that in the public. You will have to consult. You will have to consult. I will not allow people that participate in riffraff to ruin this one. The straw man thing, the birth certificate thing, the treasury trust, and all this kind of stuff. When you put that information in the public, it does no good for anybody, and I'm not going to let this one get ruined. So if you're interested, you know how to reach me. Let's go on, take a few more questions here. Go ahead, Joseph. What were you going to ask?
Okay, so you already know because I had talked to you about my situation with my vehicle.
Okay.
But I was watching one of James, like when I first came across James, it was like sometime in November of last year. And one of his videos was talking about read the PDF about living in the private. So when I did that, I came across this section that was talking about the police about I do not accept this offer to contract. I do not consider these proceedings. So I have been wanting to try that. So like, here's my citation that I actually sent to the clerk within that 3-day time period. And today, give me 1 second. Now today, I'm not sure if you could see all this, but
no, it's pretty.
This was what they had said at the bottom. Okay. Hold on. My friend gonna try to help me. Can you see it now?
No, your whole feed is really dark and blurry. So you just have to read it.
My bad.
Okay.
My job fucked up my camera a long time ago, so I'll just read it. So this was from the clerk of state court of Clayton County. And when they had sent back the citation, they had sent back this letter saying, "We're unable to accept this filing. This ticket has not been processed in our system, and until it does, we cannot file any paperwork concerning this ticket." Now, when I looked at this kind of sounded like this is a fancy way of confessing that the whole thing was void because I had sent it back. And even when I had to sign the ticket on the police officer, the Georgia code for 1-308 is OCGA 11-1-308. So I put that with my signature. So I'm just like, how am I really supposed to interpret this? 'Cause I really don't want to get excited for no apparent reason. So
Okay, so
what's your take
how
on that?
old is it?
On the thing it says the 24th. I'm guessing that's when they sent it out. I'm not really sure.
So on March 24th, they sent that to you?
Yeah,
And remind
but
me
it just
again.
came in the mail today.
So what?
Okay,
So
so
what did you do?
what
You
what had happened with my vehicle getting impounded? Remember I told you the only reason the officer pulled me over was because he said he couldn't read my license plate. So there
correct?
was no traffic violation. There was nothing to draw his attention. He just stopped me arbitrarily because he couldn't read my plate.
Right.
So uh because of that, and because I had like all my shit crossed out on my license, all the numbers and everything, the only thing he could really look at was my VIN number, which I was like, oh shit, I forgot to cover that up too. So he got my information on the car, and it had said that my registration had expired.
Right.
He didn't really say too much else. It was just that. So he had impounded the vehicle based on that,
Okay.
and he said that he was gonna cite me for some bullshit 40-5-29. So
Okay.
what? No, it as not that's what it was, driving on suspended registration.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's what it was.
And now you have
So
this. What did you do? You served them with something, you said?
basically, you know how you have that 3-day window right after you get the citation to send it back to the clerk of that specific county. So
Sure.
that's what I did, and let's see, the citation. This all happened on the 17th. I sent them a fax, and it wasn't certified. It was it basically just had to sign for it, and it guaranteed it would get to them the next day, so I would still be within that 3-day period.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had sent that on the 19th by fax and by mail, and I'm
Okay.
just now getting this in the mail today. So I was kind of confused because they sent the citation right back, and I'm like, I don't want this shit. So
So
what am I
you
supposed to?
sent them the citation on the 17th, and on the 19th, you're saying,
Yeah, and I also sent them a letter. Now that I think, yeah, my
okay,
letter was right here.
okay, and now the site that you have in your hand is saying what again?
What I wrote to them was a citation was issued to me by such and such person, badge number, blah, blah, blah. I do not
Mm,
accept this offer of contract. I do not consent to these proceedings. I'm
mm.
reserving my rights under UCC 1-308, 11-1-308 without prejudice. I'm neither liable nor responsible for this contract pursuant to the Uniform Commercial Code. And at the
Okay,
very end, I just requested a receipt that they got this.
okay,
So
and their
they
response is
sent
what?
the letter back. They sent the letter back. They sent the citation back. And on their letter, it says, we're unable to accept this filing. This ticket has not been processed in our system. And until it does, we cannot file any paperwork concerning this ticket.
Okay, then if they're hey, the onus is on them. If they never register that ticket or file that ticket, hey, it is what it is.
Interesting, man. Because I think I did mine wrong
Okay,
then.
cool
Because I sent my ticket to the attorney general, and I
then.
sent the cease and desist letter to the clerk of the court.
Oh,
So I
just
pretty much did mine the
from
other way.
doing the reading. Oh, just from doing the reading and just by watching some of James' videos, they said the clerk of the county, and I was going to see one of my friends at the time, so he was in Clayton County when I got stopped. So they
Mhm.
submitted all this to their clerk, so I did likewise.
Interesting.
Idle
But
X
yeah,
is
I just want to know about that.
I just sit on it, see what they do. The onus is on them.
Okay.
Okay.
It sounded
Idle,
like you did everything you needed to do to me.
yeah. Idle
Okay.
X is saying, do I have to appear in court to get bond back?
He actually put a comment above it.
If I sent my affidavit of constitutional U.S. nationality and did special appearance through mail to cease and desist unless they can prove jurisdiction of my person, which I am the authorized agent of, do I have to appear in court to get bond back. He's saying a whole lot there. Let me see here.
He has something at 10:15 he put there.
Where?
10:15. I definitely need to consult with you. Been kind of nervous.
9:15. Oh, I got
there
9.
It is right there.
Yeah, I got 9:15.
Right. Yeah, true.
Central. I definitely need to consult with you. Been kind of nervous with court date coming up on the 20th. Although I prove they have no jurisdiction, just don't know if I need to go to get bond money back. I needed to be here this because my case is in Clayton County as well. So you're in where are you? Who's in Clayton County? Joseph?
We are. Yeah. Well, no, I'm not in Clayton County, but I was in Clayton County at the time because one of my friends was down in the area.
Yeah. Why don't you?
I'm on the east side of Decatur.
Yeah. Why don't you click up with Idle X? Y'all work together.
All right.
But what? Again, from my standpoint, age of the majority is everything. Now, that is a process. It probably won't be done by the 20th. What is today? The 6th? It could be. Well,
yeah,
you would have to move on it because it would definitely entail you authenticating both your birth certificate and your certificate of live birth. And then once you do that, because that's to go to the state and to the Fed by the time you get it back. I mean, it's possible. And I don't know if you've already got some of that accomplished already, but we can talk offline about how to finish the process of attaining the age of the majority. It's good that you are letting them know they don't have jurisdiction and they need to prove the jurisdiction, but you're going to have to stand on that for real. Like, you're going to have to stand on your square. Because, I mean, me personally, I got video. I've been through all of that, before, I claimed having reached the age of the majority. But paper-wise and record-wise, I know I didn't. But I had like 6 sheriffs standing around me ready to. My wife was there. She'll tell you. She was shook. She was like, "What is going on?" Like they threatening, like they gonna lock me up, and you ain't gonna like what's about to happen. I said, "You ain't doing nothing to me. It's just me and her. We in the belly of the beast. In them courthouses, they be, especially during COVID." It was like nobody in there, so they could do anything. It feel like they could do anything they want to you. But yeah, I stood on my square. I told them, like, you ain't gonna be able to do nothing to me because you ain't got no jurisdiction. The judge stood up yelling and stuff. He pulled all that. I basically told him, stop yelling at me. You don't have jurisdiction either. And then they tried to kick my wife out. My wife's sitting there, he tried to yell at her and tell her, "Ma'am, you need to leave." Like they finna do something to me. Seriously, I had like 6 sheriffs around me. They standing like this all around me, and I'm sitting in the back of the courtroom refusing to go past the bar. And the judge like, "You better get up here right now. If you don't get up here and blah blah blah." I said, "You don't have any jurisdiction over me." Yelling and all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, "Ma'am," he's like, "You need to leave the courtroom now. They're trying to shake you." And then I looked at my wife. She's sitting over here across the aisle from me. I said, "Don't you move 1 inch." I said, "If they touch you, I'm suing every one of these people in here." And they didn't touch her. They didn't make her move. They didn't do nothing.
So right? What they do? Just throw the case away, or what happened with it?
No, they don't do that. They don't do that. They just leave it in limbo. Because to make those kind of records and recordings that you basically stood on them, that just strengthens the resolve of everybody else in this so-called movement. So they just leave it. They just won't mess with you anymore. Just like child support. I did the same thing to child support. They just left me alone. I don't hear nothing from them no more, no nothing. And it's been over 2 years. I don't pay them nothing. I don't got no warrants on it. No, they ain't throw me in jail. There's nothing. They just leave you alone. You'll never even really know if you don't, inquire about it. Same thing with my my school loan. It wasn't astronomical. It was $30,000, but they just leave you alone.
So like, yeah, my boy said the same thing. He said he had to go to court. I told this story before if y'all watch my channel. So he actually came in and they called him up and he said something to him. He couldn't remember exactly what he had said, but it was something to the effect of something about the mispronunciation of the name or something like that, but authorized representative. So then he came up to the bar, but he didn't go through it. And then he said they start trying to yell at him, get in here.
Right. They'll do that.
So he said, he was like, who's the trustee? Are you the trustee? The judge said, no, I'm not the trustee.
Right.
So he says, are you the trustee to the bailiff? The bailiff was like, I'm not the trustee. So he says, well, I'm appointing you as the trustee.
Right.
Hey, I don't know. So dude said that shit, and then the judge, he said the judge was shook. So the judge was stuttering and shit like that. So he says, I demand a jury trial for this particular situation. So he was like, okay, we'll give you a jury trial. So he gave him a jury trial, and then they ended up dismissing it privately. So
right. Yeah, it's and we gotta, procedurally, I mean, it's not a jury trial, it's a trial by jury. That's what you're actually guaranteed. So we gotta watch what but I'm gonna move through some of these questions here. We've been on for about an hour and 15. I ain't got no problem with it. I'll stay on as long as you want to, but I know A6, you probably work, don't you?
You dropped out. What'd you say?
You work tomorrow?
Yeah, I got stuff to do tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll stay on for a little bit longer though.
Okay. So I wouldn't need an attorney. Idlex says, I don't recommend anybody get an attorney. Part of being legally competent, part of being the age of the majority is you being able to administer your own estate. So if you can't, that's an admission right there that you haven't reached or attained the age of the majority. They know the truth. Knowledgewell, your crib is popping. Cooper the Trooper 77. Real talk, my man. This is green screen, but my crib is popping.
A nice ass green screen. I need one of those.
Yeah. Idol X, add me on Instagram, fam, so we can possibly help each other. Oh, you're talking to you, Joseph. And here, Joseph, you ready? Write this down. This is him right here.
Okay, 1 second.
Yes, sir. Moving units.
Yeah,
y'all got to go to court or something happens. Take them with you, man. Have a witness.
That's what I'm saying. Record if you can. Record everything. Did you want to go on to a specific topic? You need some questions answered or whatever. A6. Anybody?
I'm sorry. Run it by me again.
I was saying, you want to talk about a specific topic to take us out? You got questions you wanted to answer?
Yeah. So now I'm not sure how the court situation works because in Maryland, I haven't been to court since this whole thing happened. But I'm not sure if I have to go in or if it's a Zoom call. I've heard from the consultant that doing Zoom calls now, and I heard from you actually had to go in. So it's like I'm not sure what's going to happen. So procedurally, like if it is a situation where it's a Zoom call, how should you approach that situation for like a ticket or something like that? Just let's say theoretically they ignore the cease and desist letter. Let's say me signing the ticket and sending it back to them. They try to power through that or whatever. Let's say it ends up, shit hits the fan. Because at the end of the day, if you in court, shit hit the fan. You know what I mean? So play it from there.
Yeah. So I've done the online things as well. As far as the being in court on the online, it's the same process and procedure. You're either I go in there challenging jurisdiction. I don't even want to talk about the particulars. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not pleading anything. I need jurisdiction to be proved on and for the official record. And they're going to try to push past that. They're going to tell you everything's been done. The DA, district attorney, has satisfied jurisdiction. But I can show you multiple caseloads that say jurisdiction cannot be assumed. It must be proven on and for the official record. They try to say, well, CCAP is the official record. No, it isn't. I'm not. I wasn't born yesterday. I know.
Can I have one of those court cases?
Yes, I will make sure. Let me write a note because I would have to dig through my stuff. Let me see. Go ahead and talk, A6. I'll see if I can find one real fast.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So I guess just talking about the whole entire court thing. So I've heard stories about that. I actually heard another story about my man was in court and he ended up getting kicked out of court. And, you know, as soon as you leave out, they put a warrant for your arrest out. So my man was in line doing something. I can't remember what he said he was doing, but he was in line, him and his cousin. And so he said immediately, as soon as he got in the line to do whatever he was doing, like 3 police officers came downstairs and they said, are you such and such? And he was ignoring them. He was just looking forward, not paying attention to him. Because, you know, once you answer, you basically are fulfilling that the ens legis obligation or whatever, or assumed jurisdiction.
Yep.
So they basically were calling his name. So he says he's ignoring him, not paying attention. They're standing right next to him, talking to him. And he's just looking forward, acting like he don't hear him. So his cousin says, no, that ain't him. No, that ain't him. That's all they needed. As soon as they said that, they pretty much, that whole debtor-creditor thing switched around, and they yanked him up by his collar. They yanked his cousin up. And they both ended up getting locked up over that. So be very careful, man. If they come on there asking you if you a name, they can't address the private. They can only address the public because they're public officers.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, definitely. I do have my jurisdictional challenge paperwork right here. All of these are all the jurisdiction. Can you see? Everything's backwards. Oh, you dropped off again. But I have, if anybody wants this, what I can do is I can scan it, make it a digital copy. And this is all the case laws having to do with jurisdiction that they have to prove. Jurisdiction cannot be assumed. Okay. So if you want that, you need that, message me up and I can give you the whole list of all the jurisdictional challenge cases and case law. The consultant said you notify them of your appearance of video conference, right? Idle X, I have a affidavit of ownership of certificate of title, certificate or title and registered securities for authenticating COB, certificate of live birth. I've been confused on exactly what the registered number or bond number is. You got anything on that, A6?
Let me read that again. Hold on.
All right.
Ownership, certificate of title, registered securities for authenticating certificate of birth. I've been confused on exactly what registered. This is more your specialty with the
okay. All right.
COB.
Yep. So I'm not going to disclose everything in the public. Definitely have to do a consultation with me on that to get the particulars. But I will say, I already told you, you do have to get authentication of the COLB and the birth certificate. As far as the bond number and what have you, I've done some digging into that. I've actually called banks and some of the largest banks that handle these type of things, these bonds and all that. You're not going to get anywhere that way either, because when you have to first attain that age of the majority, and once you do that, I believe that the state is going to do something. Okay, that's as far as I'm gonna go, but we could talk offline. We could talk in a consultation. Reach out to me, Knowledgewell 4, the number 4, the letter U at gmail.com. But what else do you have up there? I'm reading at the top of the screen, so I'm looking up. Let me see here.
I'll be right back, you guys.
Yeah, no problem. Wayne, I see your email here. I will email you a copy of this jurisdictional challenge case law sheet.
Should send me that too, man. I need that.
All right, let me write a note to myself. Go ahead. You got another topic you want to talk about?
I guess we can scroll questions, man. I'm gonna jump out of here in about 10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right. So at 1:30, we'll be ending up. You better get your questions in now if you have them, for A6 or myself. If you have them, we have 10. Oh, we just lost 2 people. So we have 8 people in here. If you got questions, now is the time to do it.
Oh, I tell you what, go ahead. If you're not already, subscribe to my man right here. Definitely subscribe to him. Okay. Very intelligent guy. Lots of information. He literally knowledge well. This dude has a well of information. Give him a holler.
Thank you.
Hit the bell. Subscribe to my man. All right.
Absolutely. Plug yourself. I mean, everybody probably knows about you already, but go ahead.
Yeah. You already know who I'm is. You already know who I am. The 4 national, 4 natural, 8-6. A-6 _ grind time. You can hit me up on Instagram too if you want. A6 grind time _, all one word, no dash. And hit me up on there if you got any questions. My email is leehums@yahoo.com. You can hit me up there if you want to email me some information, or if you want to send me a cash app. You want to buy me a beer or something, trying to get out here and educate and get educated. I'd appreciate that too, man. It's $, first, ANTONYLAWSONIA6 on the cash app. So let me put that in there just in case. Hold on. Oh, I can't put it in there. Well, play it back and, do whatever. But if you want to send me some money or whatever, that's good too. I appreciate it. Buy me some lunch or something.
Yeah, man, we do appreciate that every time, man. I mean, we doing this as, as a labor of love. I mean, I love what I do. I know A6 does too, but we definitely could use your support in finances and whatever else, you know what I'm saying? So we can keep this going. I see you, Idol X. You said you would like a consultation. The way that you do that is reach out to me at Knowledgewell. If you're talking to me, you reach out at Knowledgewell, the number 4, the letter U at Gmail. Knowledgewell is one word. Will do, thanks, because I need to get it authenticated before court. I'll also like the jurisdiction sheet. All right, Idol X, I'll write you down too. I need an email if you haven't already put it up there. Idol X. I think you did. Let me see. Yeah, Idol 2 Saucy at Idol 2 Saucy. 2 Saucy. All right, so is there anything I can clear up before we get off here? We got about 5 more minutes. Anybody? You do phone calls. I do phone calls. You have to call the consulate. I'll put it in the comment section. You have to call 1-833 Amercon. Sound like a transformer. Amercon.
I said a transformer.
So yeah, call the consulate, and then they will patch you through your call through, and then I'll get it. A6, anything you want to talk about before we get out of here? 5 minutes.
I mean, I'll be going live Sunday, and we can talk about some other things. Don't know what the topic's going to be yet. Again, make sure y'all subscribe to my man Knowledgewell. Hit that bell too, man, because what's happening is YouTube is doing a shadow ban of smaller channels. I don't even think it's everybody's channel, or excuse me, certain people's channel. I think it's everybody's, because if you search something, you'll only see the first 10 results, or maybe 15 results, and then all the rest of them get cut. So it fills up with all the BS that you don't care about, and all the ones that are like hidden knowledge and all that stuff. You never get to find it unless you know how to look for it by name. So what I've experienced on YouTube, I've been on YouTube for almost 3 years now, and I'm trying to crack the 1,000 mark. So help me get over that hump. I think I got 27 more subscribers before I get over 1,000, which is a plus. Been grinding hard for it. So what I've noticed about 1.5 years ago, when they changed the policy, it's even more harmful for the little guy. So your video is not getting seen unless people are specifically looking for your name, and then your video will pop up. So it's not easy, but that's what we up against. So they are trying to limit certain information. They can't completely get rid of it because that would be imbalance. And even in the artificial world, there has to be some kind of balance. Because as they've noticed that if you don't have balance, that's the quickest way to have your empire collapse. So if there's balance, even if the balance doesn't have to be put out there, it's got to be something where it's available to be discovered. So then you have the information can't be deleted, but it can be tucked off into the corner somewhere. So same thing with everything else we're doing.
Let me also say this, that I did put a challenge out there yesterday, I think it was, to everybody. I look and I aspire, because of the request that people have made, to put together what's known as the Knowledgewell University. All right. So I have a cache of information that gives you the background, the historical background of step A to Z how we actually got here. All that stuff I was talking about, 1781, the Articles of Confederation, 1789, the first Constitution, the first president, all of that. I have that in a nice package for you. But for a minimum donation of $75, what I'll do is I'll just start uploading to the email that you give me, and you'll be able to walk through there step by step. And that's going to bring you all the way up to date, where you can actually understand some of the underworkings, and then these issues that you have like court and tickets and child support and all this kind of stuff, you'll naturally understand how they work by getting this information. So I was going to start off at a minimum of $75. People said that that's a great number, $75 for minimum donation. And I will upload so many in a week. Okay. And we'll just keep that going. Okay. So if you're interested, Knowledgewell University, and you won't be sorry. It's great information. It's how I started, and you can kind of walk with me through this whole step. Otherwise, go through the archives. It's a lot of it's there too. I just don't go into as deep. You want lectures, you want study notes, you want that type of deal. That's what I'm offering through Knowledgewell University. Okay, so it is 1:30. Man, I appreciate you, A6. Thanks, man.
No problem at all, man.
I can't wait. I got some family out there. I think you're in Maryland, so I'll definitely let you know when I hit it that way, man.
I'll come through, man. I'll buy you a beer. Bring the bad wolf with you, man.
I think I'm gonna go meet up with him right now. Actually,
that's what's up.
A beer or something like that. But hey, what do you guys think about this? How about we get A6? How about we get Finest Thing Walking? How about we get James Lovett and myself?
The Justice League.
The Justice League. How about we get us all together and we just have a time with it? How about that? Y'all want that? Man, scream that stuff. Post it up everywhere and blow it up. And I'll make it happen. Me and A6, we'll get the guys together and we'll do this for real.
Yes, sir.
If that's what y'all want to do, you'll have us all. Okay?
I'm with it.
All right.
100%.
Joseph, welcome back. We about to end up. Did you have any last words you want to say about anything?
Did you have anything else to say about the 1,000 signatures, the petition?
Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies. I have presented to you the American consulate as the one of the chief correspondence officer for the consulate. It's for you. It's for you. It's for your foreign national, your American national. We have to come together. Okay. Just like we're doing here. We have to come together. This is our time. This is our moment. And the American consulate can be that shelter. Okay. But we need your signature. We need your thumbprint. We're going to be circulating. I'm just about done with the document. It's about 5 pages long. What I'm aspiring to do, please send me all of your emails, because I'm going to send you a copy of it. And what I'm going to need you to do is to sign it after you read it, and then put your thumbprint on it, like old world common law, and then hold on to it. And we're all going to mail them off at the same time. And it's going to go to the State Department. Same thing with just like you do your DS-11. Nothing different. Mm-hmm. But when you read this, you're going to understand what's really going on, because we are actually looking to get into a treaty-style relationship with the U.S. We're telling them we just want to be left alone. Okay, we just want to exercise our natural, God-given rights, or what have you, right? And we're not at war with you. We're at peace. We'll pay taxes to Caesar if we use his things. That's basically what the letter is saying, but in a very articulate and professional way, in a legal and lawful way. Okay, so that will be coming out. I need your emails. So you can put them here, or you can send them to Knowledgewell. You can send them to A6. A6 will make sure that they get to the proper place, and we're going to get those letters out. Today is what, Tuesday? Mm-hmm. You should be seeing that letter by Friday. And then we're going to get all that all together, and we're going to ship it out. And we need 1,000 signatures. So I need you to put that on all of your platforms once you get it. We need all those signatures. Thanks for reminding me of that, Joseph. But that's our consulate. And the number is there, 183. I put it up there, 1833 AMERCON, AMERCON. Call that number and go through the prompts and see how professional it is. We put a lot of work into it, And it's not a joke. And what this is going to allow you to do, because it's backed by the VCCR, which is the Vienna Convention for Consulate Relations, is going to allow, whenever you as an American national are pulled over by an officer, they have to follow the international law that the Vienna Convention has established in how they deal with a foreign national. And that officer and his lieutenant are going to have to call the consulate to learn how to deal with you. And lastly, the Vienna Convention requires that a representative from the consulate of that foreigner has immediate access. So if that means if you go to jail, if you're in detainment or whatever, they have to call us and we have to come there as your representative, because you will have signed a limited power of attorney that will allow us to act as your attorney in fact. So all of this power and knowledge that you have between A6, Finest Thing Walking, and James Lovett and myself, you'll have access to that as your representative. Of course, we work for hire, not for hire, but we work for our donations, y'all. So when we working hard, grinding, we expect that y'all gonna take care of us because we're gonna do it for y'all. That's what it's about. Any other questions? Anything before we get off of here? Let's see here. Yeah, I need to be part of that for sure. Okay, I got your Gmail. IdleX, do signatures only have to be from nationals? Because I'm sure I could get people to sign. Yeah, we only can deal with nationals. American nationals we can only deal with. We cannot deal with U.S. citizens. And that's part of the agreement that we're putting in this document that we're sending to the State Department. We will not mess with Caesar's property. We will not try to encourage Caesar's citizens to be part of this. That's not what this is. This is for people that have already made their own determination that they are not a U.S. citizen and have actively made a move in that direction. We can't force anybody or coerce anybody to do that. All right. So with that being said, stay on the line. I'm going to play this track one more time. It's a track. Tell me what you think about it, and then we'll get out of here. Okay. Here we go. So what I hope to do is like get some commercials or whatever. So anybody in the group, in the consulate, American national, foreign national, what have you, can send their information, little snippets and all that kind of stuff. And we'll start to make it, kind of commercialize it for everybody, give everybody an opportunity. A6, we want to put together, some stuff for you and what have you. But we'll work on that later. We've been on here long enough. A6, I appreciate you. Joseph, thanks for joining us. It's not as easy as it looks, guys out there, but we're doing it for you. Okay. So make sure you support us, support A6 donations. He put up there how to do that. And myself as well. And shout out to Finest Thing Watkins. Thanks for putting the word out, for being here for a brief moment. I know you're busy. And James Lovett, I'll see you in a little bit. Hopefully I have my beer ready. You take us out. Take us out, A6.
All right, man. So you already know what time it is, and we got it down. And y'all got any questions? You know how to reach me. You know how to reach my man. And we doing it all day, every day, man. Boots on the ground, BOTG squad.
All right, my man. Peace out, y'all. Love y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.